And welcome to another exciting episode of the Click Nation's Comic Book Chronicles. I'm your host, Tim D-O-double-G, and as you see, I'm solo today. There's a reason for that. Number one, the show usually airs at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and as you see, it's currently 6:13 p.m. Eastern Time. I decided to move the show up 3 hours instead of trying to record it tomorrow because I'm currently planning to go see Iron Man 3 at 9 o'clock. Luckily, the local theater wasn't doing a midnight showing, so I can finally go see it and get home at a reasonable time so I can make it to work in the morning. So that is why I moved the show up, and of course, my usual co-host here on the Comic Book Chronicles, Classic Material, Agent_70, and PCN_Dirt are otherwise occupied. So it's the one-man rock band, which is me. So, and since also I just finished eating and I do want to try to get some rest and prepare before the Iron Man 3 showing tonight, more than likely I'll be doing a fairly short show. Also because I haven't read everything that's coming out this week, or that came out this week, so there's also that. So I will discuss the books that I did get a chance to read and also go over a little news from the week and from last week. So, and as you can see now at the bottom of my screen, I have my nice social media accounts. Let's see, I got the @TimDLGG98. That is the Twitter account. Follow me on there. The Click Nation's Twitter is @TheClickNation. As you see, the website is theclicknation.com. We also have a Facebook fan page, facebook.com/theclicknation. Got a Google Plus. Just search for The Click Nation to put the Click Nation page into a circle. Join the community on Google Plus, theclicknation.com/community. It's just search for the Click Nation community. I'm sorry. Subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/theclicknation, and also subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher Radio to the Click Nation podcast, where you can listen to the Click Nation podcast, and the Comic Book Chronicles feed will also be on there for the time being until I eventually move it to its own separate feed that you can subscribe to. And if you ever have some feedback you want to have read on a future show, just email that to theclicknation@gmail.com. So with all that out of the way, I will transition on over to news. So last week, the plan was if this was a regular episode where the crew was going to be on with me, PCN_Dirt actually attended C2E2 comic book convention in Chicago. So I was going to have him come and sort of give a recap and talk about his experience there at the show. But I guess we'll save that for next week. And I'll just sort of go over the C2E2 news from this past week. Let's see. At least this is the news that I found interesting because there was so much news that was sort of released that it's hard to keep up with everything. Let's see here. DC announced the Essentials Graphic Novels Chronology, a free catalog suggesting a reading order for DC's famous books. And this is more so for new readers, anyone who might have gotten into comic books fairly recently, and with the new 52, this graphic novel chronology will give you a nice starting point to sort of find some of the back histories of your favorite characters. Dark Horse also announced that they're keeping the Star Wars franchise through 2014. There was a lot of rumors going around whether or not After Disney acquired the Lucasfilms franchise, which of course is Star Wars, uh, rumors were running around the internet of whether or not the Marvel would start producing Star Wars comics, but it at least appears for the next year that DC will retain the comic book rights. So for those Dark Horse fans, and I'm I guess you could call it a fairly recent fan because I am reading Brian Wood's Star Wars comic, which I am enjoying so far. So we're at least assured that will keep going at least as long as Dark Horse feels like producing the comic. Let's see, Marvel, they had a lot of news. See, Avengers Arena reaches season finale starting with issue number 14, and this story arc is being called Boss Level. If you didn't know that comic books could have a season finale, well, now you know. So I guess the question is whether this season, quote-unquote, season finale is going to be the end of the Avengers Arena series, or will something else happen after this Boss Level arc is over? And will the book continue to be published? My guess would be yes, because the book has Avengers in the title. It's not like Marvel is going to cancel a book that has Marvel in it. That just doesn't happen. So Avengers Arena more than likely to keep going. And I'm actually enjoying the title so far. I know there's a lot of outrage over everyone's favorite teenage characters being recruited into this book just to be cannon fodder. But I'd rest assured that your favorite teen characters are going to stay alive. Well, not stay alive, but at least for now, at least the book will keep going. And we need to at least wait and see what the final outcome that Dennis Hopeless has in store for everyone. Let's see what else we got from C2E2. Let's see, there was some Superior Spider-Man news, and of course, Superior Spider-Man number 9 came out this week, which I will touch on later. But Dan Slott, who wasn't in attendance at C2E2, but he had a short video that was played there, and he did again announce that Spider-Man 2099 will make an appearance in Superior Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 2099 was seated back in the pages of the Big Time run in Amazing Spider-Man. There will be a Venom Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man confrontation. They have yet to cross paths with the body switch, but we have that to look forward to. Some Uncanny Avengers news. They talked about the Sentry, Grim Reaper, Daken, and Banshee being resurrected and given life. They're gonna have the death seeds inserted into them, and they're gonna become the new 4 Horsemen of Death. And I believe the Apocalypse Twins will be the ones to put this all in motion. Young Avengers number 6 will have Speed and Prodigy in it, and Prodigy is from the new X-Men run, and I guess it may be teased that he may even be joining the Young Avengers squad. Prodigy will be working a dead-end job, and that's how we'll find him in once the issue 6 starts. Charles Soule will be the new writer on Thunderbolts, which I'm actually kind of interested in because I had dropped Thunderbolts because it just wasn't interesting. The writing, the story was dull to me, and the art wasn't appealing either. So I put it to the side. I may pick it back up to see what Soleil has in store. I know he's also currently going to be the future writer for Red Lanterns when the Green Lantern books do their creative shift after Jeff Johns and company leave. This is also the X-Men's 50th anniversary, And with that, we get another patented X-Men crossover event, which will come out in September, I believe. It's called X-Men Battle of the Atom, I should say. And it's going to be a 10-part crossover and all new X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Wolverine and the X-Men, and adjectiveless X-Men that will launch this month in May. Let me take some time out to plug what we're talking about on Twitter, let people know what we're talking about here. News. It's always easier to do this when I have other people on the show with me because I can let them talk while I try to reply to tweets and send the links out, letting everyone know what the YouTube link and what we're discussing. But that's all good. Get this set up here real quick. Keep the show rolling. Boom, that is sent out. So back to what I was discussing, which was Battle of the Atom. And this, all new X-Men was set up with the X-Men from the past coming to the present. So with Battle of the Atom, we have X-Men from the future coming to the present to send the original X-Men back to the past. It's pretty much your typical X-Men story in a nutshell. Sounds confusing, but that's what the X-Men deal with, is confusing. And the X-Men from the future will be, let's see, Super Beast, Ice Hulk, or an Ice Thing character, adult Molly Hayes from the Runaways, Deadpool, Lady Zorn, the Kate Pride or Kitty Pride from the future, and a junior Wolverine with what looks to be blue skin and red hair. I wonder who Wolverine ends up having a child with. And with those descriptions, it pretty much narrows it down to one female X-Men villain. And you also have to, I also would put money on this this female or junior. Actually, I think the junior Wolverine is a male from the pictures, if I remember correctly. But you just know that somehow that Wolverine character is going to end up staying in the present, because that'll just give Marvel yet another Wolverine character to play with in their universe, and they can't seem to avoid that. More X-Men news. Wolverine in the newly launched Wolverine title, there will be a storyline called Wolverine Killable, where Wolverine will lose his healing factor and Sabretooth finds out. So it sort of opens up, and it's basically all these villains that Sabretooth recruits are on a mission to kill Wolverine. They're hunting him. So, and of course this mirrors what's happening what will happen in the Wolverine movie that comes out later this year, or in the summertime, I should say. So there's another case of the movies mirroring, or the comics mirroring what happens in the movies. So big things planned for Wolverine in this coming year. X Factor is coming to an end. Peter David has been writing, I think, X Factor for way over 100 issues now, but they're finally gonna let him end the series the way he wants to end it. Thor: God of Thunder news. Malekith, who also will be appearing, is the main villain in the Thor the Dark World movie. He would make an appearance in Thor: God of Thunder number 13, and this event, or this arc, would be called The Accursed. And that's it for the C2E2 news. And in other new comic book news, this coming Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. Every year for the past couple of years now, the comic book industry has selected one Saturday of the year, usually, I believe it's more than likely the first weekend in May, or the first Saturday in May, to release or not new, but to release a free comic books to the public. And some companies use it, well, all the companies use it to market their comics to new readers, and it also helps get new readers into the comic book store, because who wouldn't love new free comics? And they can use it to promote a character or their comic book line or promote an event, which DC did last year when they promoted the Trinity War, and Marvel is doing the same thing this year with their Infinity comic to promote the Infinity crossover happening in the fall. So make sure to go find your local comic book store. You can go to I believe the website is go to freecomicbookday.com. They have all the info you need to know on there. And they also have a store locator where you can click the link, put in your zip code, and it'll pull up the closest comic book stores for you or in your area. Helps you out. So with that, that's it for news. So now it is time to talk about some new comics for the week. And like I said earlier, I have to apologize because I haven't read a lot this week. I've read a few books, but if I had my crew here with me, they would more than likely have read some of the stuff I missed out on. But them's the breaks. So I'm going to pull up comics for the week. I'll start with Marvel because I did read a few of the Marvel books. Where are they? Off the top of my head, let's see. Age of Ultron #7 came out. And let me let people online know I'm now talking about the new comics for the week. Currently discussing this week's new comic book releases. So that is now tweeted out to the world so they can tune in. Age of Ultron #7, I was saying. Yes. It was an okay issue. It dealt with last issue, Wolverine killed Hank Pym. Him and Miss Invisible Woman go back to, I guess they went back to they go back, I guess, to the present, and then find out a lot of stuff has changed just because of Hank Pym not being alive anymore. A lot of the heroes look different. It's basically your typical time travel book where the past was changed, they go back to the future and see everything that them altering the past has affected the future. And you have some familiar characters looking different. I know Carlos Pacheco did the art. Brandon Pearson, I think, was listed on it also, but I don't really remember what parts of the book he drew. So it was all right. It was there was nothing great about the book or nothing surprising to me. 3 more issues to go before it's over. We'll see what's in store when issue 8 comes out. All new X-Men #11. Love this issue. I wrote a review of it on theclicknation.com. Make sure to check that out. So in All New X-Men, we get to find out it picks up the story from last issue where one of the original X-Men decides to leave with Cyclops' mutant revolution, even though we already found that out, and I believe it was last week's Uncanny X-Men #5 or 4, I can't remember which number it was. We found out that it was Angel defected. But here we see exactly what happens after he announces his defection. You know, both sides are squabbling. Jean Grey refuses to let him leave the team, so she tries to exert her force again, even though she's been told by Kitty Pryde not to use her powers in that manner because it scares people. And she even gets a little taste of her own medicine from the Emma Frost and Stepford Cuckoos. They let her know, you know, they sort of taught her a lesson that, you know, you can't just go around uh, entering people's minds when you're not invited inside. And she pouts about it, and she gets sort of a nice. She gets some coaching from Kitty Pryde. I like this one-on-one time between Kitty and Jean Grey. It was good seeing. I love Bendis putting Kitty in this sort of mentor role for the new X-Men or the original X-Men, particularly Jean Grey. Kitty Pryde really is becoming the new age Professor X. You know, she is Professor Kitty Pryde. And the issue ends with the Uncanny Avengers paying the X-Men and original X-Men a little visit. So have that to look forward to next issue. Have Havoc meeting his younger version of his brother Cyclops. So there'll be some fireworks from that. The Marvel books. Hawkeye number 10. It was pretty good. Filling off artists. I think it's Francisco. I forget how you pronounce the guy's name. But no David Aja. Art was fine. It's sort of like it focused more on Kate Bishop, and it sort of filled in gaps from the previous issue. I guess you could sort of say last issue and this issue, you could read them concurrently and get the same story, and both stories end at the same point, which was Gil, however you pronounce his name, being killed, and we find out who did the killing. It wasn't as great of an issue as the other Hawkeye books, and I'd even attribute that to not having David Aja doing the artwork. But it's all right getting a quick break. I'm sure he needed the time off, and he'll be back, I think, on issue 11. I think the fill-in artist is back on 12. And excuse me that I don't remember his name. That's all the Marvel I read. I do plan on going back and reading Indestructible Hulk, even though I'm not crazy about Walt Simonson's art. I'm gonna read Iron Man 9 because it starts the secret origin of Tony Stark's storyline. I gotta read Thanos Rising also. That's about all the ones I planned on reading for Marvel. DC, I have read. I'm going to check out Action Comics and Aquaman and Batwing. I started reading Green Arrow today during lunch, but I haven't finished it. It's still as good as all the previous issues with Andy. I think it's Andy Sorrentino on his artist. I'm sure I messed his first name up, but I'm enjoying this new, of course, new creative team for Green Arrow. They're putting Oliver Queen through the ringer. That's about. Oh, I did read The Movement from DC. That was the first DC book I decided to give a try. Brand new #1. My first time reading It was my first time reading a Gail Simone book, so I had to see what all the fuss was about. Didn't really enjoy The Movement, to be honest with you. It was hyped up as being this Occupy Wall Street type book, but there was a little bit of that. But the book was more. It seemed like it focused more on the supernatural than anything having to do with kids trying to rebel against authority. even though there was some of that in the book. So the art by what's the guy's name? Uh, Freddie Freddie Williams II. His art is nice in it. I do plan on checking out the Green Team when it comes out later this month. Also, oh, I guess I should also mention. Oh, I guess I talked about it earlier, but yes, Iron Man three. Iron Man 3 comes out this weekend. I hope you all go watch it. Don't spoil it for anyone who has not seen it online. Give them a chance to see it before you start going online. Oh my God, I can't believe what happened in the post credit scene. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So yeah, just chill, and we'll definitely review it on next week's episode. So look forward to that. We'll give our 2 cents and reviews, and maybe we'll even do like grade scales for it. Let's see what else. Go back to this week's books. I told y'all this is gonna be a short episode because I'm running solo. If you're having to watching live and you want anything said on the show, you can send me a tweet. I'll read it live here on the air. I thought I'd get any though. Only other book I've read so far was Invincible Universe #2. Todd Knox's art is awesome. I mean, I'd be honest, I'm reading Invincible Universe just for his art. I enjoy it that much. I'm even going to go back and try to find his Young Justice run from I want to say mid-2000s, and read those also just for his art because I love looking at his. He draws that and the colors because I sent him a tweet today praising how great the book was, and he made sure to plug his colorist. If I can find it in a short amount of time, I'll give that guy's name out. Let's see, where is it? Where is it? And okay, Gabe. How you say his name? Gabriel El Tabe is the colorist. I love the colors on it. Because like I said, he made the colors. The colors made the pencils pop on each page, which was great to see. So definitely a good thing. Let's see. So other things I plan on reading this week. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna read. I can't promise. I'll at least skim through Action Comics. I don't care about Superman, but I am a fan of Tony Daniel. His art. Let's see. Aquaman, Batwing. I'm gonna read Black Bat from I believe that's Dynamite. Has nothing to do with Batman. Totally different. Charismagic, Volume 2, #1 from Aspen. Gotta check that out. Harbinger Wars #2 from Valiant. Oh, I know what I skipped. Superior Spider-Man #9. Oh, I definitely got to talk about that this week. So I'll end tonight's show talking about Superior Spider-Man. So this issue was hyped up as being, if you were mad at Amazing Spider-Man #700, just wait until Superior Spider-Man #9. Dan Slott does it again. Blah 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 blah. The book was fine as far as I thought. Great to see Ryan Stegman back on art. Not that I disliked Roberto Ramos or Giuseppe Caminoli, but Ryan Stegman's the man. So great art. The colors again on that were nice, but I guess I don't know if I want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't read it. But something happens at the end of the issue and I won't spoil it, but I'll kind of spoil it. We're pretty much left in the same. We're left where we were left at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 700. So that has me thinking, Amazing Spider-Man 700 ended one way, and then Superior Spider-Man #1 ended on a different note that was unexpected. So now I'm thinking Superior Spider-Man #9 ends, and supposedly everyone's in an uproar. And then by the end of issue Superior Spider-Man #10, we'll be saying to ourselves, "Oh, Slott pulled the wool over our eyes again." At least that's why I'm predicting things will go. I wasn't outraged by the end of Superior Spider-Man #9 because Slott already tried this at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 700, and we saw that wasn't the true ending there either. So keep reading, people. Stop acting like your childhood is stolen, and just sit back and enjoy this arc that Dan Slott is taking us on. Enjoy this ride. So in 2 weeks, because this is a bi-weekly book, in 2 weeks you'll have Superior Spider-Man #10 to be angry or happy about. And that should about do it for the show. Told y'all this is going to be the quickest show ever, because I've talked about everything I need to talk about, and I have no feedback because no one's available to watch the show live, but that's okay because the show will be up on the theclicknation.com video format to go back and watch and listen to. And this will also be up in audio format in a podcast, so you'll be able to have a chance to go back and watch it or listen to it on your mobile device of choice. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. If you're tuning in the past or in the present right now, again, go to theclicknation.com, read the comic book reviews. We're about to bring on another comic book reviewer to review some other titles that I don't get a chance to touch upon, and even some non-superhero stuff. So look forward to that in the future. Subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher Radio to the Click Nation podcast, or the Comic Book Chronicles will also be on that same feed. Facebook.com/TheClickNation. Like the page. Follow the Twitter account at TheClickNation. Follow my personal Twitter account also at TimDOGG98. I run both Twitter accounts. If you want some feedback read on a future show, send that to theclicknation@gmail.com. And that just about does it. Make sure I touched on everything I need to touch upon. Free Comic Book Day. Yep. So I want to say I hope everyone enjoys Iron Man 3 this weekend. See it in 3D if possible. If not, I'm sure you won't miss much. But I will be seeing it in 3D. Unfortunately, not in IMAX because there's not a IMAX theater here in the area. Even though there will be a newer theater, but no IMAX. Why open a new theater here in the area but not have IMAX? I think the only thing they're promoting is a restaurant on site. So that's kind of interesting. And this theater will be closer to my house. So instead of going 15 minutes out the way, I only have to go 10. It's the little things in life, people. I want to thank you for tuning into this episode of the Comic Book Chronicles. I'm your host, Tim DOGG, and I'm signing off.